Leadership, it's really looking at your own skills, your own passion, and your own ideas about how you can contribute to better learning in the schools.
Being a leader is being a role model. You are a leader only and if only you have follower. Without follower, you are not a leader. And translating an individuals into a leaders requires other people to follow you.
Teacher leadership, I think, occurs every minute of every day for a teacher, because a teacher, by definition, is also a leader of a group of students, a leader of a community, and oftentimes a leader of his or her colleagues in that community.
Were seen as being leaders of their classes and therefore of the academic program, of the timetable they had, but not playing much of a role beyond that. They might have a few extra jobs to have in the school, heading a unit, an academic unit, or perhaps managing some piece, but they were considered basically leaders or managers of a classroom.
Teacher leadership for me is a kind of competencies of teachers to be able to lead the students and the schools to affect student learning. So the focus is in student learning.
It should be the teacher delegate the student to do the learning. So instead of focusing on the teaching, so teacher in this era should focus on the learning of the student.
Well, teacher leadership has a strong role to play in individual success at the school level. If we measure success by looking at, let's say, student achievement, it has a quite significant role to play in terms of bringing up exam scores, having learning processes move forward in a much more dynamic way in order to create an environment in which differentiated learning is the focal point, so it's allowing each student to define their own learning path. That if you measure success that way, then leadership is going to have a major impact.
Its first impact will be on management, administration, finance, planning. But if it doesn't go beyond that to worry about or care about having an impact on achievement, higher enrollment, lower dropout, lower repetition, higher completion, higher achievement on examinations, then there's no reason really to focus so much on that issue. So I think it's absolutely essential that from the beginning, this whole issue of school leadership is directed towards higher and better outcomes for children. One problem is, if you look now at the manuals, at the instructions, at the instruments related to things like school assessment and improvement planning and school-based management, it basically focuses on assessments of inputs and resources, books, classrooms, numbers of teachers, or maybe processes of management. You have a school committee or not. The teachers have gone through upgrading courses or not. But very little of the school assessments or improvement plans are focused on what should be the ultimate outcome of the whole process, which is student achievement. And therefore, I think this whole issue of of school-based management has to be rethought and redirected towards ensuring schools are managed better in order to produce what we call better outcomes for the students.
I think that they can both have, management and governance systems can have a major impact, but teacher leadership can also change the way that schools are managed and governed. I would say that they both have similar types of potential in terms of affecting student achievement or just the general learning trajectory that's going on in the school. So I wouldn't say that one is better than the other, but I would certainly say that more leadership from teachers is going to have a positive impact on the management and governance systems of the schools. Remembering again that Indonesia is a highly decentralized environment in which each school has its own individual approach to doing the management and governance of their own school. So it's up to the teachers to really jump in and take, essentially get in the game. That's the statement that I would use. Get involved. Look at opportunities to get involved and use your skills, your passion to have a positive impact on the way that schools are being managed and governed. Because there are no centralized control systems anymore that would limit teachers' involvement in those areas.
Leadership cannot be cultivated properly without good management and good government. Good governance should be able to demonstrate transparency. The school has to have open. See, everyone would be able to check what is happening at school level. Second one is accountability. A leader, a teacher who has leadership should be able to be accountable. She should be able to tell the parents, tell the student, that's what I have been doing, and this is the objective that I'm going to achieve. And of course, the third one is participation. Teacher cannot take any decision without participation from other stakeholders of education.
Here's the other aspect that is very important and often overlooked. Is principle. The principal of a school will definitely shape the quality of education in that school. Yes, we need to help educate our teachers better in terms of leadership, develop their leadership, understand the impact of leadership in how he or she teach. But no less important is leadership of the principal. And this is often overlooked. Principal often buried, overwhelmed with works, from administrative to strategic. And without ability to manage the load that is heavy, then it can create situations where standard of achievement is very low. That the sort of a demand for quality education is not present. And principals has a big role to play. And so I think when we talk about education in a decentralized setting, let's look not only in the area of classroom and teachers, and then look at their leadership, but let's not forget the principal.
Teachers' leaderships should be related to the act or the role of teachers in leading the institutions.
I think it's important for them to have a mission to create new society, new generation for Indonesia future.
If we want to develop the leadership of the teachers, we have to rejuvenate the passion of learning, the passion of empowering students. That's important.
In my perspective, I think if you want the student to achieve, the best part start with the teacher. If you have the best teacher, you'll have lots of successful students. So by change the way of teacher teach, think different, teach different, use different pedagogy, use different methods, by using the context of leadership in the teacher to change the way they do things, then the student will be interested in learning. They will like to learn more, and when they like to learn more, they will achieve based on what they want to learn, and they will be successful.
It's not about power, but it is about the opportunity for the teachers to take part in decision-making processes across levels. Curriculum level, personal level, finance level, and so forth and so forth.
A good teacher inspires. It creates situations where students try to go beyond the dream that they had before they enter classroom.
100 days, 100 nights, but no one